transcending for its time period because of the characters that were created. A white man named James Patterson created a character called Alex Cross, who was not a real human being, who is a detective psychologist, and doctor, you feel me? He's a doctor. And he has a best friend who is black, a grandmother whose name is Nana Mama, two black children. And I realized recently that he said the N-word in his work, and we're just chatting about it. We're just getting the ideas out so we can build up our community. One day our children will look at these things and think they are brand new. For us to have gone and done the research and looked at these things and said, no, son, these things aren't brand new. As a matter of fact, I got a very special video about something about this, and you can watch that video before you get into this deep topic, and this should help you elaborate your idea or your thought process on this topic in general. What's up, guys? This is your host, Kowalski, with Humming Pod. Thank you so much for tapping in with us. This has been a special morning. So many wonderful things. I wanted to go ahead and jump straight into the topic, really, and talk about this week as a event. This week is like a national, like, kind of, moment, because in my church, in all churches, this is a pastor appreciation week. So I wanted to give a wonderful appreciation for my pastors, those at my local church, Kelty's First Baptist. And I want to thank all the gentlemen who do so many wonderful things in the teaching for the congregation, and for spending time with the church, the body, being wonderful leaders, being great brothers. And I pray that we lean on y'all's discernment and y'all's love and y'all appreciation for the church more. And I just thank you guys. So from Kowalski and Humming Podcast, thank you, pastors, for the growth that I've seen in you guys, that you have shown, that you've seen in me, and the appreciation you've shown me. And I appreciate that from you guys. So I love you guys here at Humming Pod and the book club. So as we move into the next thing, listen, right now I got my record player going here in the background. We're playing one of my favorite records, because literally I'm a 30s guy, nostalgic 30s. I've been playing this record for some days. Bought it a while ago for cheap price over at a local thrift store. But I don't think they knew what they had with this one, because it has some really good music. Everything from the 30s here. I mean, I love it. If you can find you a copy, I recommend you get one. If you like 30s music, then just stay on your own bubble. For me, that is chef's kiss. This morning, I'm going to be finishing up my book that we've been reading. That is a big part of this morning. I have roughly 75 pages. I don't know. It doesn't go up to page 5. It does go to 500. 502. And I'm on page 440. So 60 pages. And what can I expect after everything I've seen? The main thing I want to do is I want to put it all on the table. I know. Y'all might think that I am just reading for no reason, but this is a big reason for me. And I did want to come on here and admit one thing. I did lie to y'all, bro. I lied. I ain't gonna lie. I lied. I told y'all I had only read one novel. But that wasn't true, because when I realized that I read one novel, I said, nah, I tweaked a little bit. I thought about it. And I've actually read a second novel. So I've read this book called Ricochet by Sandra Brown. I've read a book by Terry McMillan called Disappearing Acts. I've read Mama by Terry McMillan. So that's 2 more. And then I've read Native Son by Richard Wright. So that's 4. I forgot that I did start challenging myself at a real big portion in my life. And I started reading deeper books. So I guess this is my 5th novel I've read. 5th real intense novel. Along Came a Spider. I hope y'all are proud of me, dog, because I'm super busy and I got a lot of stuff that I got to be doing other than just reading books. I love reading. I thought it was something that I was supposed to be doing, but I'm realizing that is my true passion, and I want to connect with others through this passion. I want to connect with you guys through this passion. So right now, before we get into the deep talk, I want you guys to call in and text into the podcast. Tell me good morning. I'm going to go ahead and make a Facebook post right now about everything that's going on. I'm gonna post the link for the Facebook to come on over and chat because why not, right? I want to chat to the Facebook, and then I'm gonna talk. We're gonna talk about James Patterson's book. We're gonna talk about it. Let's see what he got going. We're gonna talk about where I'm at. I'm already on page or chapter 80. Yes, chapter 80 now. I think my record player. So I've had two record players in the last 2 years, and both of them are acting crazy, like super crazy. You feel me? This one that's the most that I got for the cheapest price is like it act like you want to just quit. So the music don't sound super clear. It just act like I want to quit. I don't know why though. Good morning. Good morning from Pulsating Books. Humming Pod is now live. Tap in, text in, or call in to say good morning to host Kavaskier. Today we are thankful for our pastors at our local churches. Commitment for their commitments, their their dutiful work to the gospel, much more. We are also listening to some nostalgic 30s music this morning. Sidebar, on the way, as I was driving home this morning, I noticed the most beautiful sunset or sunrise. Parked my car, walked up the overpass, that's the word I'm looking, and captured the most elegant images of God's gloriful. If you'd like to see these pictures, please request. Okay, now that I've got that written out, that's my sidebar. So, and now I'm gonna repeat what I said up here. Okay, invite link below. I'm trying to figure out which picture I want to post. I'll post this whole one. I love that picture. That was a spur of the moment picture, but it was nice. I can't even front. That was a good pic. It looked good, dude. I can't lie to you. That's your boy. Organic content right there, y'all. Do y'all see it? Come on, you know you see it. Organic content. Now that I've written and typed that up, it's time for a sip of coffee. I'm doing a little back, back research type thing, whatever they call it. All right, Facebook. I'm gone. Could go live on Facebook right now too. Let's see. Okay, my bad, y'all. My mind is just racing because I'm like, I be in awe of what God can do. When you let God be the leader of it all, you will find yourself in awe of what He'll do. He will do some work. Like the work is done. He waiting on us, man. Seriously, He's waiting on us. So let me get this back in motion real quick because it already done played through. All right. Facebook. Should I go live on Facebook too? I don't know. I'm gonna go live for just a second. Next streaming software? I'm gonna have to figure that out. What's up, y'all? Next video source, complete post. Okay. I'll be here just 5 minutes. Hello. Bye bye. Love you too. That's funny. Okay. Now it's time to go live. How do you go live? Is it over here? Move this up. Oh, there it is. Settings, auto, viewer. No, public. We're going live on Facebook. We live on Facebook. What's up, Facebook? We're gonna be live 5 minutes. Let's just this Facebook live right here is just relevant to Facebook. I'm trying to do this in just about 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 minutes. Not no more than 3. Really trying to go 3 minutes. But I want y'all to know something. Facebook, I ain't. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't really like Facebook. I love y'all, but I don't like Facebook. The Facebook, it just did too much for too long, and now, boom, I'm in a whole nother mode. I'm on a whole nother platform, doing a whole nother level of things, and I'm just here for 5 minutes to let y'all know because it's too many. Everybody on Facebook is basically a LinkedIn constituent. It's like everybody on Facebook want to be LinkedIn brothers. And at the end of the day, LinkedIn, they got everybody so business oriented that everybody they think about business, but they don't do business. And that'd be a big problem. So if you're gonna think about business, you need to be doing the business so you can low key have like a fluid mindset according to all the business and the networking and going out and being part of it, having your briefcase, your backpack, your nut suit, all of that. But you still gotta stay in tune with reality too. So I don't know about Facebook. I don't think they're doing all that good stuff right the way they're supposed to be doing it right. So I want to just say good morning to y'all. We've been live on another app for about 15 minutes, 20 minutes, I don't know. But Facebook, go over there, check out the post that I just made. I do want y'all to see it. Chat with me, text with me. This is an open platform where you can like reach out. That is possible. I know a lot of people do get a little nervous when you put those things in and say like do this, and then they get nervous and it's like I don't even know to do like that anyway. I don't know him like that, so blah 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 blah. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna mess with him. I'm gonna let him do what he do. Blah blah. Everybody want to be disconnected with each other these days, and I understand. I was talking to somebody last night. They were saying I miss the '90s. I miss the early 2000s because that's when your neighbor loved each other. When the neighbors you say, I ain't got no sugar, I go borrow from my neighbor. They ain't got no milk, they come borrow from me. We need eggs, I go borrow from them. It's like that's when them days was happening. Of course, they still happen in some places, but they don't happen like they used to. We want to get back to that. This little streaming atmosphere that we got. I do really want more people to be streaming. I believe that would be a beneficial thing if more people knew how to stream. Of course, everybody don't have a perfect computer, perfect microphone, perfect headset, all this stuff. Of course, I don't have it. Of course, I don't have it. But if we all do take necessary steps to get in position to be doing it, we will be making progress according to like building a positive community. I'm Christian. I want to build a Christian positive community so when we are chatting, we're talking, we're having wonderful, engaging conversations in the morning, wonderful, engaging conversations in the afternoon and towards the night, whatever it may be, game day, late, what else could we say? Like a game night, like a fun night. Maybe you're having game night at your house, game night at their house. You just link up talking. It's a community, We're building all this stuff. And as we continue to grow with time, we will do these things together. So I wanted to get on here and say that. I just want to say, Facebook, hello, how you guys doing? Bye-bye. Love you guys. This is literally what I wanted to get on here and do and say hi. So that's what I'm doing, being obedient to Facebook. If Facebook wants you to be a good person, apparently, but then they got all this mess that pop up on your screen. So I don't really get it. Like, what do you want from us, Facebook? You ain't did nothing to filter nothing, but at the same time, you trying to make it seem like this the main platform. Like, what's really going on, Facebook? I'm out. All right, y'all. I took another sip of that coffee. You feel me? Another sip of that coffee. We gonna work on it. We're gonna work on everything. We're gonna get it all orchestrated. You feel me? All of it. There's a lot of stuff we got to work on. All right. So right now, as y'all can see on the podcast, we have visited Facebook, made Facebook posts. Y'all can go to my Facebook and check out what I did over there. It's been we've been talking for a little second, but right now we're finna get to the nitty gritty. You feel me? We finna get down to the nitty gritty. What is the nitty gritty? What is the nitty gritty? Oh, you gonna find out if you don't know. The nitty gritty it be that James Patterson book that we talk about. Yeah. It be that James Patterson book that I'm about to finish up. We got 60 more pages, and I'm gonna finish that this morning. Come on, let's go. What's the name of the book? What's the name of the book? Call in, text in. All you gotta do is say good morning. I'm working on getting better at it. I'm working on doing all these things better because it is a necessary step for all of us. Now, I know some people got. I'm gonna go and say this before we start, and before I go back and do like some dissecting. I'm gonna go ahead and say, I know that people have relationships right now. Like people are in a relationship with people, like a boyfriend, girlfriend, all this stuff, like making progress and taking steps towards becoming like wife, family building, or like setting up a house or getting the cars and bank accounts and all these new things that they're doing. But at the same time, I'm here to stand in the gap. A lot of people have seen me at different periods in my life, and I've seen a lot of people at different periods in their life. And so, what I want to say is, it's kind of tough for me to say, but what I want to say is, I guess I'll cut that down a little bit. It sounds good, but it don't sound the best. So, I know it's tough for a man to say, why would you text into Kavosky's live stream? He's a man. I don't want you talking to no man. You're talking to a man, you're cheating on me. If you talk to a man, you're cheating on me. That's what man might say. And then in his subconscious, or whatever you want to say, in his mindset, his wife would possibly have a possibility to cheat on him with me, Kavosky. Like, things like that go through men's heads. People think like this. People do. And they get self-conscious and they say, why are you doing this? All because of the internet. But to know me in real life is to know that I have wonderful friends. I'm a wonderful member of my church. People know me. People talk to me, conversate with me. We have great experiences together. This is what community is all about. But the internet rips all that apart and pretends that doesn't exist. And so my live chat for a wife to text in and say, Kavosky, the way you analyzed that book or looked at those people, I didn't even see it that way. And I appreciate you for doing that. Do this book next. Why don't we have a moment? Why don't we talk about this book? Or for a husband to talk in, it will be easy. Be like, oh, Kavosky, that's we one of the boys. He one of the guys. He just be talking about the stuff that we want. He shoot the S with me. Like the S, the S word. And, I'm like, dog, this is a professional platform. We don't shoot the S at all. We are having a conversation about something that somebody else produced that we had no work in bringing to this world. And we're just chatting about it. We're just getting the ideas out so we can build up our community. One day, our children will look at these things and think they are brand new. For us to have gone and done the research and looked at these things and said, no, son, these things aren't brand new. As a matter of fact, I got a very special video about something about this. And you can watch that video before you get into this deep topic. And this should help you elaborate your idea or your thought process on this topic in general. And that's the way that we should be curating to our children and to the youth, is giving them some, like, that's wisdom and that's love. Showing them that you're not in this by yourself. And when they look up and say, man, everybody been on this world all this time, why has nobody planted anything for me so that I can not have to be the first? Because a tree, how long does a tree take? It takes years, like 70 years to grow. Man, nobody thought to grow one apple tree. Nobody thought to grow one orange tree or pears or nothing. I got to be the first one, so I never get to eat off of it. Of course, it's a good process to do, but it's like, wow, all this time, nobody ever did it. So what was really going on? That's what we got to think about that stuff. And so we got to plant those seeds. So by the time our children grow up, they'll be looking like, man, my dad really took care of his time and stewarded his time well. And then they'll look and say, he was a man of God. They'll recognize you by your fruit. You will recognize them by their fruit. I talk a lot about the Holy Spirit. I talk a lot about the Spirit, the fruit of the Spirit. And that's a big portion. So now that we've got that out the way, that's very important. I want to go ahead and say we're getting right to the nitty gritty, talking about Along Came a Spider by James Patterson. So some of my friends know this book. I had no idea that this book was valuable at all. I had no idea that this book meant anything to anybody, but it really did mean some stuff to some people. This book was really, really transcending for its time period because of the characters that were created. A white man named James Patterson created a character called Alex Cross, who was not a real human being, who is a detective psychologist and he's a doctor. And he has a best friend who is Black, a grandmother whose name is Nana Mama, two Black children. And I realized recently that he said the N-word in his book. He said it. I'm Black. I can say these things. But him, I'm like, hey, that caught me off guard. But then I did a retake. I said, this was an intellectual text. For him to put this word into the text late into the book, what does that represent? I really had to think about it. And I had to pay credit where credit was due because it's like he created this character and this character is black. I thought about everything that was possibly thought about. Like, did he do it because did he create this whole character who was black so that he could say this word? Did he say this word just because he wants to get a pass or say like, oh, black people don't read books. They'll never even notice it. It was said. White people will never acknowledge it to the black community that this was said in a book because why do they need to tell these other people? I thought about these things and I'm like, wow, that really did catch me off guard. I couldn't believe he said this. Can't believe he said that word in this book. It just threw me off guard. And he put the ER too. It wasn't an A on the end. It was like, wow, what did that mean? So if anybody knows what that means, please help me out. So I'm 80 chapters into this book. Let's go back to the prologue. We see a little 12-year-old boy walking in a field, dressed like an adult, intentionally walking in a muddy field with size 9 boots. He's 12 years old, so he does not wear a size 9. And he's prepared himself to look like a man who he isn't in order to get away with a crime. What it happens in the prologue is he goes to the house, him being youthful, the realization of, wow, I'm actually doing this starts to get into his brain. And it's like I can't believe I'm doing this moment, but I'm here and I'm about to do it. I'm going to finish it. He kidnaps the baby, goes back, carries the baby alive. And this was in 1923, I believe. This happened in 1923, according to his book. I don't know if it's 23. 1932. And it's called, his name was Charles Lindbergh, and he kidnapped the baby of 2 famous people. And these famous people went insane thinking about this fact that their baby was never found. He kidnapped their baby because he wanted to be labeled as famous now. He wanted to feel what it felt like to touch famous. What does it feel like to have famous in your hands? To recognize what it means, what famous, like to be in the presence of famous. What does that look like? Right? Now, that's the prologue to the whole book. This all started for me by, I had to go deeper. I had to realize, what does it mean when a writer includes a prologue in the book or doesn't? What does that mean? What does it mean? And so I went back and looked. Let's get the record right. I went back and looked in many books. Okay, this author did it this time. Okay, this author did. Okay, this author didn't. Okay, this author did. What does that mean? How does it help a story? How does it hurt a story? Does it take time away? Well, I would say that the prologue in this book completely sat with every portion of the book because of the mindset of the murderer. You know, the boy having a deep thought process, going on and doing something very dark. It really sat with me because it's like, wow, like children can think like this. It's really possible. And when you see that and you notice that, you start to learn. You start to learn about the mindset of people and what people go through and how people interpret things different than the others. So right now, I'm having a fun time, you know, kind of working through the mindset of James Patterson as he writes. His mindset is very much open when it comes to like all these things. I don't know if he wrote the book alone, but I know it's so many portions of like so many different characters, so many people. He describes them so wonderfully. I'm like, does he have a specific person who curates these people's attire, the character, like way of the person? What is it? How does this work? Because he really knows his stuff sometimes. He really knows how to paint the picture, and he really gets to the nitty gritty on like what really is being presented by each person. I'm like, do you really have to be this observant to know these people? Because I'm like, I'm not observant. I really don't care what these people doing. I don't care what these people thinking. I don't really care. I mean, I know people have thoughts, but it's not. It's not my. It's not up to me to just sit inside of someone's head. Yeah. So let's look. So when we get there, when we look at that, we go straight to chapter 1 and we start to learn about Alex. Well, in Alex's home, the word black, talking about black people, is something that naturally happens often. Being black is normal. They have these conversations. Nobody's afraid of it, or whatever it may be. So I'm not gonna say that I'm gonna work through this. I'm not gonna work through this whole book with you guys. I know some people may like it, and if you do want me to work through it, I can go back into it and do it again. But I'm just saying, for now, I'm not about to do it. But one thing that I'm gonna talk about is just the portions of it. Okay, so my favorite character is definitely what my favorite character is Alex Cross. My favorite character, apart from Alex, would be John Sampson. Okay, my favorite character apart from the two main characters, even though Samson did get a little bit pushed into the background, I really do like Jesse Flanagan. Her character did help me. Alex said she was the lifeline. Wow, she represented the lifeline for Alex. Huh. And the way we were introduced to her character was her on a bicycle pulling up dressed like she was ready for vacation, or just came from vacation or something like that. And that it was like, you know, it's like she just had that aura, that presence. And so, she's like my favorite character. Like the way she goes about her business and different things, it just makes me think about what was a woman like in the Secret Service? What does it look like to be a woman like her? You know, I always wanted to be married to a woman who had that level of power. Tyler Perry does a great job of making movies like that. I always wanted that. Like, man, I want to marry me a woman of power like that, man. Like, just with those nice, those beautiful shoes, the pants that fit over the foot perfect, leaving a little bit of skin showing. The nice little tight fitted upper jacket, like upper coat with the single colored shirt on the inside. No matter if she got like nothing going on up top, it's not about that. But the nice, pretty hair, maybe it'd be some curls. I'm thinking about a black woman, thinking about a Hispanic woman. I always wanted to as a young man growing up, I wanted to marry a woman who looked like this. I'm like, man, I want to. I mean, that's my wife. Come on, let's go. And it would be like, I get it could be she could be an agent, or she could be like a working as like a child protective service lady, or like a office lady, something that of that caliber. I always did like that, man. But right now, as I learn about Jesse, I'm like, oh no, I'm totally good on it. I'm gonna cut that one out the work, because she done some things that have come back to bite her in the behind. I can't believe she did what she did to Alex. She really messed him over and messed over herself. She shouldn't have done him like this. There was no reason for her to, like. So I don't know, like, I don't know why. Let me see. So one thing I really liked about her, she fell in love with Alex. You feel me? She fell in love with Alex, and by her falling in love with Alex, it made her relevant in the grand scheme of things when it comes to like the whole story. So she became, of course, like Alex said, she became the lifeline. Our lifeline in this instance, what we see is Alex was caught in the swirl and twirl of another character who was the main character, supporting character, whatever. His name is Gary Murphy, Gary Sonegy, or he calls himself the son of Lindbergh. His quote throughout the book was, I want to be somebody. He wants to be somebody. Like, he wants that. It don't matter what he got to do it, but he wants to be somebody. And he's not going to stop at no. You see what I mean? He's going to keep going until he gets to become somebody in his view of what somebody looks like. And he has a very wrong view of what that looks like. Very wrong. Okay. I'm going to read something off that I had. I'm going to share the screen too, as a matter of fact. This is ChatGPT. Okay. Wait a minute. Why is James Patterson book Along Came a Spider a sensational hit? Okay. So it says let's go to the villain. We were just talking about Gary. So the villain, Gary Sonegy, is one of Patterson's most complex antagonists. A man whose double life as a family man and a psychopathic kidnapper kept readers unsettled. The story explores split personalities, childhood trauma, and obsession with fame, giving it a psychological realism that went beyond the average thriller of its time. Let's go back to one. A brilliant protagonist, Alex Cross. The novel introduced Detective Alex Cross, one of Patterson's most enduring and beloved characters. Cross is not just a tough cop, he's a psychologist and a deeply moral man, balancing his intellect and empathy while confronting the darkest parts of humanity. This layered portrayal made readers care about him on a personal level, not just as a detective solving crimes. Okay, well, that's pretty much all we needed for the sake of that. But I do want you guys to know it's important to understand, like, your thoughts about things are valuable. You are valuable. You're not worthless. You're not pointless. You're valuable. Okay. So your interpretation of these things, they mean a lot. Like, I value it. I mean, if you got something you want to tell me about this story, or about the type of story this is, then just say it. I value it. I value you guys. I can admit right now that I'm not really in the most comfortable setting right now, so I'm gonna get more comfortable. I'm gonna try to. Hold up, bear with me. Oh, Lord, that's tough, dude. You shouldn't even try that. That mother tough. That seat hurts my back end. Now I'm a little bit more comfortable. That cool with y'all that I'm comfortable? Bet. And so Gary, he basically represents like childhood trauma, psychopathic, like bipolar disorders, like traumas, abuse, manipulation, frustration. He represents all of this stuff as the character in Alex Cross's life. And Alex Cross lives within this realm. Anything that distracts his peace, he veers to it, and he figures it out to bring it back to that peace. And that's what we love about it, because it says Alex Cross represents the moral man. And to have a moral compass is to realize, okay, as I have this compass, anything that interferes or violates this compass, let us detect it and, understand what it is, so that we'll know, okay, these are things that try to steer or move. That these are things that cause people to like go to snap. And Alex had a moment in the book that caused him to snap. And it was where he went to a basketball game, a Georgetown game, with his girlfriend, Jesse Flanagan. And Jesse, she had these tickets for quite a while. She's like, Alex, yes, I'm happy I got these tickets. You are my boyfriend. I want to take you to this game. And they went. And when they get there, they got these guys tailgating. And she's white, he's black. And man, what is this on my seat? I don't know what this is. Okay, we're gonna figure it out. Got all this little fuzz and stuff. And so when they get there, there's some white guys, they said, like, monkey lover, black or jungle fever, all this stuff, all this racist stuff that they could say. Alex, and she's telling Alex, be cool, Alex. Don't do anything. Alex said, I'm cool as I can be. I'm cool. Trust me. Ain't nobody shaking me. I'm good. She thinks he's gonna, feel away because of it. He doesn't, until he does. He turns around. He says, wait, you just insulted her. It was cool when you was talking about me, but now you insulting the woman, and you ain't got no right in doing that. And so he turns around and says, which one of you said that? And then he gets in the guy's face, and immediately he says, you ain't gonna do nothing. Alex Cross, boom, punches him. He gets into a brawl. He knocks him down to the ground. Here's the other dude, boom, knocks him down. And the friend, he says, he's been having too much to drink. He's acting a fool. We work hard all the day. We work right beside a lot of black dudes. We're just drunk, and we shouldn't have been acting like this. Alex doesn't care about none of this mess that they got going on. So they leave the game, which they didn't even go to. And they sit in the car and they have a touching moment together. And he says, I'm sorry about the way that I acted. She said, it's okay, Alex. You did what was necessary. It's all right. I mean, I forgive you. I mean, it's nothing to forgive, because, I mean, you did what you needed to do. You stood up for me. And she was happy about that. And so that's good. That's good. That represented love. I really thought the relationship was gonna take flight after that moment. I thought it was gonna show a new level. And I think after that was the first time that he actually spent time with her alone at the house. They had a lot of intimate moments in the book, and the intimate moments they shared were very, very deep and very articulated. So I could tell James Patterson really likes to articulate those types of things in his work. And like I showed y'all the other day, I do have a lot of his books, and I'm not real big into those types of scenes. So that could draw me away from his work. It really could. But at the same time, in the same breath, I'm grown. He's grown. His interpretation of life is not mine. And so, I mean, I just got to pray about it. You feel me? I just got to pray about it. That's just got type of guy I am. So, Alex just, well, I mean, the way that just splurged, so that was good right there. I want to say, let's talk about Alex Cross and Samson and his nana mama and his children. Okay, so this family we have here, we don't see a lot of Samson connecting with the family, even though we know the family knows him. But we do get a lot of Alex Cross with Samson, a lot of Alex Cross with Nana Mama, and a lot of Alex Cross with the children. We do get a lot of that. Alex, he plays the piano a lot in certain times, and that signifies his relationship according to his home life. We see him playing with the children a lot, like playing and having fun, spend like his escape from work with the children. And then we see Nana Mama as a steady, constant being in his life. His grandmother, right? He says if Nana Mama was she eats like a bird, is what he said. Like if she ate like, I guess he said if she ate like an animal, she eat like a bird because she likes her poached eggs, her wheat toast, her jelly, or whatever, her marmalade, her coffee. You know, he said him and Samson thought she woke up the earliest of anybody in the whole world when they were young because that's how early she woke. You know, she was always up, consistent. You could kind of make your schedule by her routine. You could set your watch on her routine pretty much. And she would read the newspaper and different stuff. Ironically, Alex Cross being in the position that he's in, he makes the news. He is the news. He's Alex Cross. They know about Alex. They know about him. Go out to see about him. And that's a big portion. I mean, she's right there in tune. She gives that moral compass as well. Says, Alex, I don't like what's going on here. Alex, they got too much going on here, Alex. And these people, I don't know what they got going on, blah, 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 blah. So it's nothing you could do except respect the fact that she is his, solid rock to stand upon. Goodness, dude. I'm looking at stuff on the stock market and it just annoys me, dude, how bad everything is doing right now. Like, it's like I'm back at zero now. Like, it's crazy, dude. According to that, like, that's not even how it should be, dude. It should not be that way. It gets me annoyed. I'm sorry. I'm going off on a tangent. But my business is consistent. I'm doing my thing. Y'all pray for me according to all this stuff that happens, and we can't control it. So things happen we can't control. So let us stay positive and not grow weary in well doing. But Alex Cross he's taking got all these characters, like, and then his relationship with Samson, of course, is like Samson is such a stoic positive force where he doesn't even change with Alex. Like he's always so ready to go, like a roaring lion, like a lion prancing or prowling. So anytime Samson gets any inkling about anything, he's ready. He's just as passionate as Alex. He has the same drive as Alex, but they're best polar opposites. And Samson knows everything Alex does. Alex knows everything Samson does, and they want to see each other at their prime and at their best. But they would never pressure each other to be a different version of themselves than they are. They'll call you out, call each other out. Look, sound to me like you sound to me like you overthinking everything about this case right now. You need to let it go. You need to move on. You need to air it out and move and let's go have a drink. That's what I'm saying. That's what they'll say. Stuff like this. And so we think about this stuff and we deal with this stuff as men And then we realize some men don't have the capacity to do it. Some men can't really operate in this space. And that's where the problems come in. Now, we've talked about the main characters, really. We really have. Let's look at the all the supporting actors of characters. We got people who we got the family who's suffering because of Maggie Rose and the little boy, Michael Goldberg. We got the families who suffered because of it. We see their suffering. Once the dad suffers terribly, the mom suffers well in the Maggie Rose. And the Goldbergs had a tragic ending to their son's life. He was killed by accident. Harry later admits this, later talks about this, and different things happen. And so we have like other detectives. We have the where Alex Cross, their department, they have the FBI, we have the Secret Service, everybody's involved, different investigations happening, and we have higher like ranks and levels of the individuals who are talking to each other and saying, this is what needs to be done. This is what's being done. This is how we need to go about it. And we have all this stuff happening. Some people are talking to Alex about different stuff. And Alex really made me happy when he went to that old guy and he said, I'm going to give you the scoop. I'm going to give you the tea and I want you to put in and do it as you will. I know you're going to do this. So the older guy gets the information about the hypnosis. And when Alex leaves him, well, I guess we could talk about his character a little bit. So the old guy is a guy who isn't well liked, but he's real respected. And so Alex says, not everybody like this guy, but I do. I like him. I like what he got going on. And so when he gets this big idea, he calls him up. He says, hey, meet me over here in my spot where I be kicking it. And, this is going to be a place for you so we could chat and nobody go try to bother you or nothing. When he gets there, his presence in the room is so immaculate that Alex says he doesn't fit in. He sticks out like a sore thumb, and the guy knows it. He said, man, I can't be up in here. I stick out. These people gonna see me. And Alex makes a joke. Oh, you're gonna be recognized by some famous guy, whoever he says. It's like, and then they bring him back to reality. Cause like, well, you're right. I mean, ain't like everybody famous just hanging out over here. I mean, I might stick out, but I guess ain't nobody over here. So that's a good thing. I mean, it's crazy. And so he gives him the scoop. The guy, when Alex leaves, the guy goes and talks to his secret friends. He gets busy and he talks to his friends and says, like, to build his point, to build his case. And when he writes by the next morning, he already had it published. And so Alex Cross says it got working. That's when he goes and sits at the kitchen and looks at Nana Mama, sees the newspaper and says, Nana Mama already had it ready. She read it already. Everything was going. That's when we first got introduced to her schedule and how she goes about it. And so she starts to say stuff about it. He said, did you read this? And then she started talking about it. And as she's talking, she's making it clear that she did read it. She does go deep into these things and talk about these things. And she is aware. So when we notice this, we know that, okay, if she's aware of this lady, you feel me? If she's aware, how many others could be aware of these types of things? And what is a necessary topic? Look at this. This is what really goes on. This is a real reality of life. And she's just one in a million. And Alex gets that perspective with her. And it's funny. It really is. It really is a wonderful thing. And if I could do y'all some favor or justice, I'll go here and look. It said the heading of the paper was Gary Sanjay to be hypnotized. Okay, let's go for it. Was right in the middle. I think it's around 45, chapter 45. I mean, I don't know where it's at exactly. Been a little second. It's probably coming up soon. Let me see. I was happy about chapter 46 where he mentioned the word naivete because that's the name of my book. And I was super happy about that because I mean, when I was writing that book, I didn't know what that word meant until I found it out real quick. And then I actually put it as the title of my book. And he writes it out the way that I wrote it and everything. So I know it's unique and powerful to do it this way. It is power in doing it by the book sometimes. So look, I'm getting closer. I'm looking for the statement where the guy says, wasn't Gary to be hypnotized. Did you see anybody about this? Did you try to get help? A doctor? Da, 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 da. I don't think it was this late in the book, man. Life and death. Gary could feel. Gary shrugged. Man, that's crazy. I'm gonna find it real quick, y'all. The thing is, I'm gonna probably have to buy this book too. I'm gonna probably have to buy it so I can have me a copy. I mean, I really do like reading this book, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. All right, y'all. Let me prepare my mind real quick. I don't like to leave y'all in the dark for too long, but I gotta pause for a second. I gotta find this portion real quick. Let me see. Let me see something. Close, y'all. My bad. I'm so close. Okay. Now he said he was telling the truth. All right. I'm right here. Dang. Oh, there it is. Page 260. 260, y'all. So it says Sanjay / Murphy to be hypnotized. And we got the introduction by him talking about Nana Mama, blah, blah, blah. And then she says, why don't they just come out and say what they mean? And then Alex said, why don't they say what? She said, the obvious thing here, somebody doesn't want you messing with his neat little case. They want tied clean justice, not necessarily the truth. Nobody seems to want the truth here anyway. They just want to feel better right away. They want the pain to be over. People have a low tolerance for pain, especially lately. Ever since Dr. Spock began rearing our children for us. Is that what you've been plotting down here over your breakfast? Sounds like Murder She Wrote. Sounds a little like Murder She Wrote. And so Alex sitting over there eating prunes. And then now Mama start going on about his girlfriend. And Alex says she never misses a trick. So if anytime you do a trick, the Mama always catching it. Anytime anything funny happens, see, we're talking about that mode right there. Anytime something changes, Nana Mama's on point, and that's what made Alex. Her, it's the grandma. Okay, so I told y'all I was gonna finish reading this morning. I told y'all I would, and guess what? Now's the time for me to start. Now's the time for me to get into it. I've been on here for quite a while. I'm gonna have to skirt and slide on out. It's been real. Y'all know that. Humming Pod signing out for the day or for the moment. Maybe I'll make some more podcasts later in the afternoon. I'll touch y'all later.